Okay everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video is of course another movie review, and that movie review is on Friday the 13th, part 1, 1980. This movie came out in 1980. Before I get started on the review, I do want to say if I get to 50 subscribers, I will be showing my DVD collection. So make sure to subscribe. But anyway, the review. I got this set in a 4-pack. It comes with Friday the 13th Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. It was at Walmart. It was at the same place I got Halloween 4 and 5. I really actually do like these 4-packs. I do want to eventually get like them on the single disc when I get more money and stuff. But for now this is fine. I watched Part 2, Part 3. I watched all of them except Part 1 because I've seen it so many times. Just a quick little review on the DVD. You get actually 3D. I'll show you these again when I review Part 3, but these are for Part 3. I'm not going to open them because I don't like the 3D effects. And they are all on single disc, just like the Halloween 4 and 5. 2, 3. And what would have been cool, I would have liked this. In the front, there's another space like this, and in the back there's another space. It would have been so cool if they could have maybe they could have squeezed one on this side, 2 on this side, 3 and 4, then maybe 5 and 6 on that side, so it could have been a 6-pack. So like they could. I wish they did maybe do that. Put Halloween 4, 5 and not Halloween, Friday the 13th, 5 and 6 in there, but they didn't. But it's still pretty cool. There's the back. I know some of these come with slip covers, but I didn't. I did not see any of these at slip covers, and I wanted it bad enough, so I didn't really care about the slip covers. If you go to Walmart, these are actually $9.99. Great deal. If they did put Friday the 13th, 5 and 6, maybe make it $12.99. That would have been a great deal for 6 movies, but great deal. So, anyway, I'm sure if you guys are... just 1 minute. I'm sure if you guys are horror fans, everyone has seen Friday the 13th, Part 1. It's the best out of the saga. The best, but, there's some others have more, I'm not sure how to explain it, but are better plotted, I guess. I don't know. But the story starts out, a camp is, it is 1957, and camp, I believe it, I haven't seen it in a while, but it is 1957, and the camp singers are singing and just singing by the fire and stuff, and they go upstairs. These 2 campers go upstairs and do what teenagers do best, or what they do in Friday the 13th movies, about to make love. And then all of a sudden they see someone coming up, but you don't see, as the audience, you don't see that person coming. And they're all saying, "Oh, hi, can we help you?" And all of a sudden, the person stabs the guy and kills him. And then the girl tries to run and escape, and she just screams, and it goes to a white screen. Then it opens into present day, and the first character, which I thought was funny, because she's not even the main character, but we are introduced to, is a character named Annie. She's supposed to be at a cook at Camp Crystal Lake, and this was the camp that closed and opened. The camp that was in the beginning. And she's just walking, so she goes to a diner and asks how far the camp is because she's walking, and if anyone can give her a ride. And of course, someone does give her a ride, and they kind of all look at her like strange, and because the Camp Crystal Lake is actually called Camp Blood. They call townspeople call it Camp Blood because, well, you see why. And so one guy gives her a ride named, what's his name, Ernest or something like that. I'm not sure. And fun fact, the actor of that guy who gives Annie a ride is actually the voice of Belle's father in Beauty and the Beast. I thought that was funny. I don't think he's alive anymore, but that's a fun fact. And they run into this character named Crazy Ralph, and he's like, I warn you, it has a death curse on it and stuff, and everyone thinks he's crazy in town and stuff, so he goes, and of course the guy giving Annie the ride, says, turn back. You know, it does have a death curse on it. He explains that, what happened in 1957, the murders, and in 1959, someone drowned. Not 1959, 1955. And, then she says, I can't turn back, it's my job, I'm getting paid, so, he lets her off by a cemetery. I don't see why he couldn't, he didn't let her off by the, entrance, which I didn't see why, but he lets her off and he says good luck and everything, and she's walking. Then it opens to a few other, it kind of takes a break from her a little bit. It opens to another group of teenagers coming to work there too, and they're driving, and Kevin Bacon is one of those characters. I'm sure everyone knows who he is, and they get there and they meet Steve Christie and Alice, and Steve is like I'm not sure, I think he's the manager, or I'm not sure if he owns the place. But Alice, she's actually the main character, and they meet them, and he gives them jobs to do and stuff. And there's a kind of scene where Steve kind of likes Alice, and she's not sure about the place, and she kind of wants to go home, and she says, okay, I'll give it a week. Well, yeah. And then, we are back to Annie. She is just walking, then she sees a Jeep coming. And she gets in, the Jeep stops to give her a ride, and she gets in the Jeep, and again, you can't see the person who she's talking to. So, you get the feeling this person's not really good. If you've seen the movie, you know who the person is, but I won't spoil it until the end. So she's getting, and she's just talking, and she's just talking, then all of a sudden the driver goes past the entrance to the camp, and she's kind of freaking out. The driver is going faster and faster, so she jumps out of the car, and her leg kind of hurts, so she's limping. The driver stops the car and chases her. And, blah, blah, blah. She's running through the woods. She trips. She stands up, backs up against a tree, and the driver takes out a knife and slits her throat. So she dies. So you get this person is not a happy person, and this person is a killer. So back at the camp, they're all working and stuff, then goofing around. Steve went off to town or something to do stuff, and pretty much, Crazy Ralph shows up at the camp and warns them again. Cops show up there and warn them too, and then people start dying off. This person makes their way to the camp and starts dying off. Kevin Bacon's character and his girlfriend go in a cabin to make love, of course, and they both get killed off and stuff like that. Steve comes back. He actually goes to a diner, and he goes. His car breaks down. Of course, he gets a ride from a cop. He's walking through the woods, and which is funny thing, he says, oh hi to the person that's doing all this. So he knows who the person is, and he gets stabbed. And then it comes down to the last two people, Bill and Alice, of course, and they're wondering where everyone is. They're looking around, and Kevin Bacon's girlfriend actually gets an axe to her face, and they go in one of the cabins and find the bloody axe in the bed. I thought that was kind of neat, scary too. And they're thinking this is a bad joke and stuff. And hold on, I'm really thirsty here. What? And they're kind of freaking out. So of course they go back to the main cabin where they were playing strip Monopoly and stuff, and they were hanging out. And Bill, of course, has to man up and says, Alice, stay here. I'm gonna go check the lights as the electricity goes out. So about time passes. Alice, I think, falls asleep, wakes up, he's not back. So she goes, walks out, and she looks around. She closes the door to the electricity building or whatever, and finds Bill's dead body there. She screams, and she runs. She locks herself in, and she's freaking out. She's crying. It's dark. She doesn't know what to do. And all of a sudden, a body of Brenda, one of the other counselors here, get thrown in, and she all has rope on her. She was hanged or whatever. And so Alice is freaking out anymore. Then she sees a car come up. Now this is where you get to see what the driver looks like. It reveals her. I kind of just gave her away, but a woman named Mrs. Voorhees pulls up, and she's all acting like, oh, are you okay, sweetie? I'm here to help you. Then they go inside, and she sees the body, and she says, what monster could have done this? They should never open this place again. Then it turns out that that person who drowned was Mrs. Voorhees' son, named Jason. He drowned as a little boy. The counselors weren't paying attention. She goes through this whole story. Then Alice is kind of confused and stuff, and she's not too sure about this person, so then all of a sudden she starts freaking out, and she says, you weren't paying attention to him. And she grabs a hunting knife and starts charging up towards Alice, and Alice hits her. Then it's kind of and it reveals that she's the one that been doing all these killings. Then it's kind of back and forth chase scene, fight scenes. And then one part I thought was pretty neat is she tries to get in the car to drive away, but she freaks out because Annie's body isn't there. So that's a big reveal that Mrs. Voorhees is the killer. Then the final showdown is they're on the beach and they're fighting, and then Alice gets a machete and chops Mrs. Voorhees' head off. So Mrs. Voorhees' head dies, and then Alice, doesn't know what to do. Still, it's dark. Obviously, you wouldn't know if that was you. You probably wouldn't know what to do. It's dark, pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. It's just cabins. So she gets in a canoe. If I were, I would go back in the cabin, wait until it was morning, and get out of there and stuff. And then she wakes up in the cabin the next morning. Then she sees cops at the shore. She's pretty far out on the lake, and it's pretty music playing. And then all of a sudden, kid Jason jumps up and grabs her and pulls her beneath the water. And then she wakes up in the hospital, and it was a dream. And she's asking, "Where's the boy? Is he dead too?" And the cops are like, "What boy? So it was a dream. But actually, it wasn't really a dream, because then she says, then he's still there too. So that's the end of the movie. I give this movie 5 out of 5. Great suspense movie. For its time. It's still pretty scary. I was pretty scared when I watched it. My next Friday the 13th movie will be probably part 2. I definitely recommend it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, and have a great day. Bye.